Hello again, football fans, and welcome back to OG Fantasy Football. We had football last night on Monday. We got 3 games on Thursday. We got a game on Black Friday and a full slate on Sunday. There is football on more times this week than there is not. Johnny, I love it. Happy early Thanksgiving to you, brother.
Oh, happy Thanksgiving. It's a great week. It's an early Christmas.
Oh, it sure is. I hope Santa's got something in that big old sack for me because he came early. Santa came early all over my team. Oh, boy, I'm excited about this week, Johnny. So excited.
It's going to be a great week, but we started.
I meant the week we just had, Johnny. I meant the week we just are about to recap, but you go ahead.
I know you are, but I want to step on that for a minute because this league started about 34 years ago, but
yes, sir.
Something between you and I started way before that, and I just want to know: did you happen to see Dave on the Late Show last night?
No, I didn't, but I saw he was on. I saw a little clip of him backstage. I'm gonna have to go on the Hulu.
Get onto the YouTube.
I am gonna
get on the YouTube.
I don't watch a lot of network unless it's sports, but I did see that. I'd love to see.
I just watched it tonight.
Yeah,
gotta go see.
Don't give me any spoilers.
I'm inspired about the beard.
Oh my God, you can only dream of that beard. That guy's got that thing is like that was about 3-footer. That's a 3.5, 4-footer. God bless
you. Is he
you.
Amish?
Hey, you know what? I think he is Amish. That's Amish chic, they call it now. And if I was ever on Dave's show, and he's got another show, you never know what's going to happen. But I would say to him, I said, Dave, I used to tape your show on when it was on NBC. And me and my buddies would go to my house and we would watch it on the VCR. And you're probably the reason that I got into this business in the first place. And for that, Dave, I will never forgive you. I think he'd love it. I think he'd get a big laugh. I just put that out in the universe. Now it's a possibility. Well, let's talk about possibilities, Johnny. I always said within 100 by Thanksgiving, but there's another week. We're in the modern era. So it's after Thanksgiving week, I think, is what we're going to amend it because the $50 winners for the first time this season, the Tay-Som bitches.
And winner, chicken dick.
Tay-Som was not on my lineup. That's the beauty of it. The namesake without the namesake. Oh boy, can't wait to get into it. But there's been some movement. Let's talk about my movement. Johnny, I was in 10th place. We were both sad. You were trying to soothe me, and I was like, I'm not giving up. Oh, I think it's over. Boom, I went from 10th place, and I'm going to call it 5th because I was in 5th last night, and then Kenny Way leapfrogged me by 1 point. Let's call it tied for 5th. Look at that jump from 10th to 5th. Try that in your stupid head-to-head league. You know what? It's impossible. The season will be over before you have a chance to jump 5 slots. Oh, boy. Johnny, you got company up there in the top 3. Oh,
I do. Here comes Debo.
Here comes Debo. He's on you know what? He's had a couple solid weeks. 52, not a whole lot of points. Most of them by me. 78 points from the Tay-Som bitches. Oh, it feels good up here. Should have been more, but I'll take it. We're going to get into
Justin is benefiting from the brotherly shove.
Oh, boy, he really is. Boy, oh, boy, Jalen Hurts. I had him last year. I saw it. I saw the greatness. I think it was Matthew Berry and me, Brian Dunkleman. That's right, the two OGs of this thing we call fantasy football. Both were high on Jalen Hurts that year, and boy, did he come through. Love watching that kid play. And it's as a great a year as he's having, and we'll go through the stats up to this point in the year. He is getting crushed by Josh Allen, and Jalen is having a great season. There are 1 and 2, and then everybody else. It's amazing what great seasons these guys are having. But
speaking of Josh Allen, we got a tie for first.
We got a tie. We got a tie for first. We got a tie for second. Look at this. This is exciting. There's no records. This is just point totals. What are we in? 11 weeks in. What are the odds of that? We'll get on that. What's our guy's name? Did we call him James? James, get on that. That's our stat guy. He's our stat crack research staff that does not exist. The Omaha Steaks and some young guy are in a dead lock at 663 points. What a battle. We got a tie for third. That's how it works. Is it second? Is it third? We don't know.
Third.
It is third because there. Thanks, John. College education completed. 55 points behind the shit suckers. And here comes Debo, followed by, oh my God, it's 90 points, John. 90 points separates third from fifth and sixth. But you know what?
I know.
I am trending upward. Tom Lezot took a big leap this week. And you know what? God bless our dear friend Jeff Golly of the Meltdown, still making transactions, 276 points out of first. Never give up. Never give up. Coleman, on the other hand, has he made a transaction? He's the only other guy 100 out. Oh, Johnny, I got to just get into it. I'm bursting at the seams because we had a huge trade last week where I shipped off Patrick Mahomes. Hey, how'd you enjoy those 12 points? The two little chippy sixes. Get used to that, brother. And they have not scored a touchdown in the second half.
Did you see the 12-pointer that was it?
Who did somebody drop one?
Valdez Scantling.
Oh, Marquez Valdez Scantling. That's too many names. Too many syllables. How many
drops? They lead the league in drops.
I don't know. Nobody can catch the ball. That's why I'm glad it's your problem.
And their tackle can't stay onside.
No,
he's lining up water. Hold your water.
Yeah, you know what? I'm glad. I'm happy. I'm happy for my Philadelphia friends, and I'm even happier because I hate the Chiefs and I hate Patrick Mahomes, and you're done. Stupid ketchup on your steak-eating, dumb-haired Muppet voice. It's your problem now, Johnny. Get used to those 12 points. Get used to those 12 points. Because you know what? I got the 3 TVs. There's a limited amount. I didn't get the package this year. When you don't work for 10 months, you hold back on the luxury items, and that's what I consider the package luxury item. I've been doing this NFLBite.com. It's been fine. Had a little trouble logging in. I couldn't get on because I wanted to watch my boy Kyler Murray. That's all. There's only been 2 minutes in the game. They already got a touchdown. Oh, I didn't get to see it live, Johnny, but that doesn't take away the joy of the 12 points. I started my day before I even started my day with a bomb from my new quarterback. So that puts us, and this is the way we're going to factor it. I traded you Mahomes so that I could start Murray. I'm up 12 on that because he finished with 24. Another rushing touchdown, which is very encouraging considering the guy blew up his knee. Johnny, we're living in the future. There's guys with ACLs coming back in 10 months. That used to be, you had a lost season. You could come back, but you weren't going to be worth shit. It's all changed. We got what's his name? Shaman Boy's coming back in December now. Really? From an Achilles? Are you shitting me? Oh, I don't believe it, but we'll see. It'd be nice to see him play again. Just to blow out his knee.
So listen. Talking about our trade, obviously you benefited from starting your boy without having to worry about whether or not to start Russell, and I got to start Mahomes.
Yeah,
but the rest of Jacobs, he didn't score,
and neither did Mostert.
Yeah, the rest of the trade was kind of a wash, but the other trade,
the other trade, which we don't even know about yet.
Tell our fans about the other trade.
This is a big lesson. This is a big life lesson and a big just proof that I've leveled up, John. What up, John? That's a company, I think. But the way I've chosen to handle things, I think we said on the last podcast that when I had Mostert, he was still warm. He was still warm on my team. I don't even think I'd put him in the starting position when I get a trade offer from Stanley Allman of the Deadheads. Hey, would you like, who did he offer me? I think it was Barkley for Mostert.
Barkley for Mostert.
And I said, no, you're a glue. Not going to happen. So
I think you asked if he was relapsed.
If he'd relapsed, yes. And no, he hasn't. God bless you, Stanley. You're an inspiration to me. Not a role model, but an inspiration. So I basically, just to F with him, I could say fuck. Why do I say F? Just to fuck with him, I thought, I'm going to counter offer you something just as ridiculous. I'm going to, Gus Edwards. Oh, I love you, Gussie. I love you. You've scored 3 weeks in a row, 5 touchdowns in 3 weeks. I only had a couple of those weeks. And I just like, I countered that. Like, that's how insulting your trade offer was to me. And then he accepted it. And I went, oh, all right. And then I had to watch that Thursday night game. Gussie scored twice. And I was not upset at the first one because it happened right away, John. It was the first couple of minutes of the game.
And did you notice where Gussie was on the Deadheads?
On the bench. He put him on the bench last week. He didn't even get the Not to mention he traded for Devontae Adams. Oh, why would I start him? Why would I start the guy I just traded for? 2 trades he makes, he puts them both on the bench. God, I love you, Stanley. So then I get Barkley, and I'm like, you know what? I had the thought 6 pointers do me no good. I'm 180 points out of first. Johnny, I need 30 burgers. I need 30 burgers. I said that in my brain, and I said it out of my mouth to nobody or my son. He doesn't listen. What happened? I watched Barkley catch 2 touchdowns on Sunday, and I watched them both in live time. Oh, that was worth it. And I texted him with a little 18, embarrassed.
18 and 12.
An 18-pointer and a
12.
Oh, my God.
And he got you $50. He's the reason you got the 50.
$50.
You beat Lee's out by 10 points.
I texted him, and he's like, just call me Mr. Trade. God bless you, Mr. Trade. You made my week. And you gave me some joy and some optimism.
Hey, Stanley, if you're tuning in, who do you want to trade me?
The trade deadline is it kickoff? I think it's first thing Thursday morning. We got a day and change here.
Call me, Stanley.
Who's he got left? His bench had about
I'll
60.
trade you Gus. I'll trade you Najee Harris for Gus Edwards.
Oh, I think he might jump on that. I think he might. Oh, let's just not talk about it. Let's look at my scores for the week because it was my best production of the season. It's finally happening after it looked just hopeless with that 31 points or 34, whatever the fuck I had. 34, I think I had.
31 points on the number 1 spot.
Johnny, I thought I got a game. Let's be realistic. I can't get it all back. Let's take a chip away 30, 35, another 30, 35. I'm at that 100 range. And boy, I did it. Kyler Murray, God bless you. That's 2 games. That's 2 rushing touchdowns. Short ones, we'll take them. 24 points. And that is, I do believe, my second highest point total of the entire season. Thanks to you, Patrick Mahomes. Good riddance to you. Barkley with the aforementioned 30. Oh, I'm so excited. Mostert had a nice stat line in your stupid regular yardage league. Nothing for us, but good news. Achane, Ashane. He's hurt again. Bye-bye. He's going back in the pen.
Wilson.
I got Wilson as a little insurance, but you know what? I watched that game. Ahmed scored an 11-point reception. That's 18 points. It should have been me, or at least Steve Lumpy Kears. Derrick Henry, boy, things don't look good. And I don't really know if it's all his fault. That team sucks. Their offensive line sucks. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I think I'm going to bench Derrick Henry. Let's get through the rest of my points because Mike Evans had a 6-pointer. We'll take it. And you know what, Aubrey is his name. 9 points, missed an extra point. That's okay. He has not missed a field goal, I don't believe, this year, unless he just missed one last week. And then the Cowboys, thank you. Here comes Debo. Thank you for the Cowboys. That's 15 I had the first week I picked him up. Another 9. 24 obliterated what I had for the season with the garbage I was starting. God bless you, Justin. 78 points. I am just overjoyed. $50 richer.
Nothing left on the bench either.
I know, nothing left on the bench. And look at that, Russell Ethel had 9. I might have to start him in a couple of weeks when Murray's on a bye. Edging out the Tom Lizott's owner, Tom Lizott. He could have caught me if he would have had a 12-pointer because he was starting, I do believe, the Eagles defense. Johnny, take us through his week.
So Tom had a nice week from Dak. Nothing exceptional. 15, but he could have had 18 from Lamar. So that's a loss of only 3.
But a challenge for him.
he got 12 from James Cook on a nice touchdown reception.
Thank you,
He got
James.
6 from Gibbs on Detroit. He'll be eager to see him play on Turkey Day.
Mm.
And then 12 from Dell at Houston. Houston's scoring a lot of points.
Boy, they really are.
Sutton, who had Sutton has had 2 great weeks in a row. Maybe not fantasy-wise, but catching the ball and being a stud, he is legit.
Johnny, in our league, he has scored 5 games in a row. 5 games in a row. And then he's literally only not scored 3 times out of these 11 weeks, and that's with 1 bye. So he is having a fantastic year.
And he's got 63 year to date. He certainly could get 100.
Oh, absolutely. And that's going to be a lot for a receiver.
Also got 6 from DK Metcalf, and he got 8 from his kicker. So this is very unusual in our league.
Yes.
Tom had a great week at 68, and the only position that didn't score was the defense, which usually doesn't score anyway.
All skill positions.
Tommy had a great week.
Very good week. And he's got a challenge with 2 very, very good quarterbacks. And he's done it pretty correctly, but just starting Dak last week when he had 54, you've made the right decision for the season. If you pull off 1 week like that, and now it's just kind of a guessing game for him the rest of the season. Kareem Hunt still on the bench. I don't know why. Johnny, I cannot believe that either Cleveland or Pittsburgh is going to make the playoffs, but their schedule looks so easy. Both those teams. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll talk about the Bills in a minute, or we won't. Here's a pretty low scoring, Johnny. There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 teams were under 50 this week. Yes. This is a throwback week.
But Kenny had 30, and there were also 2, 4, 6, 8 teams over 30 that were under 50. So it wasn't a high scoring week, but it was kind of bunched up in the middle.
Yeah.
Which was good for me because I was 10th at 41, but I only lost 3 points to the Omaha Steaks and 6 points to some young guy. I would have had all of that if it hadn't been for someone in Kansas City who can't catch.
Oh. At which did he drop a touchdown? Because I actually did not watch the last couple of minutes.
It was a bomb at the end of the game.
Oh, you know what?
He beat the safety. Mahomes threw it like 60 yards. It might have been 35 yards. I don't know. It was a long way.
That tells you what. That tells you where my priorities, Johnny.
Right off the fingertips of Valdez Scantling.
I told somebody I'd walk across the courtyard at about 8, and it was about 8, and the old me would have been like, I'll be over in a little bit because this game's not over yet. And I thought, you know what? I don't really, I think the Eagles are going to win. Patrick Mahomes, I wash my hands and my feet of you.
Are they coming over for Thanksgiving?
No, we're taking it slow and steady wins the race, John Burrell. But last night I did not watch the end of that game, and I don't regret it at all. I checked the phone. I had a good time. Let's talk about why is my brother have 2 kickers? What is this, man? I just wanted to mention his team because I gained some ground on him. But Josh Allen, again, 27 points. When you only have 44, that's 27 of your 44 is from one guy in Brandon Ayuk. There's another guy, Stanley let go, 76-yard touchdown. Laporta with a deuce. But what is he starting Patterson for? He's playing the matchups with a kicker. And he's in first. How's your league going? You know what? I'll be done coughing. Maybe. When St. Patrick's Day, that's usually when the cold flu season ends. Johnny, let's take a look at your week. Not a terrible week, but 41. It's not what you want.
No, it was disappointing. Mahomes with 12, 2 short touchdown passes. I was excited. I only had 21 going into Monday night, and first 2 drives, Swift scored, Mahomes scored. I'm like, all right, here we go.
And boy, Johnny, DeAndre Swift runs like a grown ass, unbelievably talented man. God, he is so good.
Yeah. And, the only thing keeping him from being a great fantasy player is the fucking brotherly shove.
It really is.
Give
He can
my
have
boy the
another
rock at the
40.
1 yard line. He can score.
Ain't never going to happen. You know,
Throw
it's
him a
just like
little swing pass.
what do? They just shove right under them and lift them up. I've been trying to watch that play.
The dumbass defensive coordinators that are throwing their linebackers over the top.
Stupid.
You might as well. It's
You're
like when you
surfing.
see those videos of like a Corvette or some short car, and you see the dude that jumps up and it drives under. That's what's happening in this. You got to get low. You got to root hog, as we used to call it.
As low.
You got to be lower.
You got to get under Kelsey's nutsack.
Those linebackers got to push the butts of the defensive tackles.
The guys behind
they got to shove them.
You got to do the same concept coming at you.
And I've been out of coaching for freaking 10 years. Come on.
That's the kind of insight you're going to see here. Nobody else has said it. They're just like, oh, shove, brother, shove. Hey, we're going to keep calling it the brother shove and tush push. That's all people care about is just saying those stupid terms. Let's come up with something different because I don't want to be like everybody else. Tyler Boyd.
Back to me.
Yeah.
It was not a great week. We had I was excited to see White score 1 yard. He scored a couple times.
Having a great season.
And Sanders, who I picked up, my kicker du jour.
And your 11. Defense, Johnny. And your defense. You got 17 combined. That's phenomenal.
And I picked up a new D. 17 out of 41 were transactions made on Wednesday.
So you're 2 for 2 with this new strategy. Is that correct?
I believe I am.
And it worked out because you dropped the number 1 kicker in our league, Jumbo Elliott, and to our dear friend Kenny Way's chagrin, he picked him up going, Johnny, I thought about it. And the only reason I didn't? Because I thought, I'm going to pick up Elliott. He's going to pick up Aubrey, and I'm going to have to watch Mahomes and Aubrey go off for the rest of the season. I like watching
chagrin.
Two. I like two. Chagrin Falls. We don't like that. We don't need to bring that up.
Where the unknown don't even go.
Nobody goes there anymore. Nobody goes there. By the way, pour a little out for our boy Joe Burrell. As much as I've bitched about Patrick Mahomes, I would have taken. I don't know. I wouldn't have taken him over him, but I thought I was going to actually end up with Joe Burrow the way our draft went down. But Steve did not take a quarterback. I thought he'd take Mahomes, and I'd have. And
I turned down Joe Burrow for Cooper Kupp.
Yeah, you did, and
which didn't make any sense in the long run, but
kind of a wash. But Cooper Kupp's got a heck of a lot better chance of scoring points for the rest of this season than Joe Burrow. You know what? As a Bills fan, I love to see it. As a fan of football and a fan of just that guy is a badass. I like Joe Burrow. I think that guy's got big swinging dick energy, and I like him. And the league is worse off for him being out, but maybe we can slide into that playoff spot. I think that might be our playoff spot, Johnny, because one of Pittsburgh or Cleveland, just based on their shitty strength of schedule, is going to make the playoffs. So that makes Baltimore and one of them. And I mean, are we living in a world where we're not going to get in and Houston's going to get in? Stop it. I refuse to believe that. But let's talk a little bit about the Bills. We needed the bounce back. You know what? But the bad news is that the Jets didn't score a touchdown for 9 quarters, and then they broke the streak against us. That's not something to feel good about. But laying a 30 burger. They broke the streak
after 3 of our DBs were.
Oh my God! What is happening? Hospital. Why does this keep happening? Enough with the ambulances.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, they're clearly being overly cautious, as they should be.
But I was excited about the new offensive coordinator.
Great job.
Doing some things differently, targeting some different players. Khalil Shakir, pick him up. Drop Gabe Davis. Who has Gabe Davis in our league?
Ooh, does somebody still have him?
I think I do.
I have again not put in a transaction.
Oh, you better do it.
It's not even being frugal. I finally worked. I could spend the money. The whole time I was making transactions every week. I didn't have the money.
You could even pay me for the trip to freaking Buffalo.
I sent you some money but you gotta
I saw that.
You gotta send me an invoice because I don't know what we're at. But God bless you. How did I do it? I always do it. How many times in this dumb ass career I've chosen? I'm like, I'll never make it. I made it. Christmas is saved. Christmas is saved. And my guy, Sam Ryder, drained one on the last hole to secure the top 60. And that's all I'm going to say. You know what to do.
That was a nice. I saw that on the Insta.
Oh, unbelievable. Johnny, I tuned in on Saturday. I'm like, I'm watching my boy. And I'm like, oh, what are you doing in the ravine? Why is he in the He's going to hit it? Oh, that's something I would have done, Sammy. God bless you. I know you could have pulled it off, but it didn't work out. And I was like, I ain't watching anymore. I'm not watching anymore. I'm going to the range, making some progress. Johnny, I am making progress with the swing. That's all I got to say. I got a great video I just posted on Instagram. By the way, at the Brian Dunkleman Instagram, if you're not following me. Pretty funny little video where I hit a ball and then I give a thumbs up to the camera and you hear a little voice go, "Can you hurry up? I'm cold." And just go, "Shut up." Bring a sweater, boy. We go home and the balls are gone. He did hit quite a few. Yeah. So talented. If I had that kid's talent as a golfer and an actor, I'd be somebody. I'd already be playing in that Pebble Beach. I'll tell you that much right now.
It's all genetics.
It is all genetics. I don't know. It must be from his side. Yeah, he gets it all from Jiddu. Is that what you're telling me? Johnny, let's talk about these stats. As I mentioned before, good, googly, moogly. Josh Allen is a man among boys. That's really what it comes down to. He's a man among boys because he has 291 points this season, and way back in the rearview mirror in second place is our Jalen Hurts with 240. 51 points. That's crazy. And what's even crazier is that Jalen Hurts is a lot of 52 points ahead of third place.
Of Herbert.
That's crazy. Justin Herbert
is only there. Herbert's only there because of injury, because Kirk Cousins has now not played for 3 weeks.
Kirk Cousins would have a stranglehold on that third position right now. We all know that.
Is only 41 points away from Herbert. He hasn't played.
I know. He's got more points than Mahomes still.
Yes, he has. Not for long.
Oh, what a joke. So Justin Herbert and Dak Prescott and Dobbs. Look at Dobbs. Oh, he's great in fantasy, in regular fantasy, because he rushes, he gets those yards, but in our league, he's scoring every week. He's got, look at these these numbers from week 7 to week 11. These are Josh Dobbs' numbers. I do believe he was still in Arizona. 18, 29, 32, 21, 24. And guess what? He's not even being started. Why? Because Stanley, other than his absolute futility of trading, he's got Purdy, and he's picking the right one because Purdy's been outscoring him. Oh, Stanley, God bless you. You know what? As much as we love to give Stanley the business, let's not forget that he has won this league, and the only reason he won this league is because I had Peyton Manning during Peyton Manning was still playing, which means that you got a good quarterback. I had Vic, and I traded Vic to Stanley for, I do believe, oh my goodness, who did I'm blanking on his name, but a Green Bay wide receiver, the last one they've had before Jordy Nelson. And it was a smart trade for me on paper, but then Vic went completely apeshit, and Stanley won the league. So, you know what? You owe me karmically. Oh, 30 points is pretty great when I have not had 30 I started 3 running backs at a time, John. I haven't even sniffed 30 total between 3 guys. I'm excited. As I mentioned, I'm going to just take a little look. We got about 5 minutes, I think, here, Johnny. Let's look ahead to the coming week.
Sneak a little peek-a-loo.
Thanksgiving week. I'm excited. I got my defense and I got my kicker playing on Thursday, but that's it. Do you have anybody playing on Thursday? It's always fun.
I am going to look right now. Pending transactions, I do not. But I do have a Dallas Cowboy tight end on my bench that I'm pretty sure I won't start.
Fergie.
And I do have the Lions defense right now, but I do not plan on having the Lions defense in another 2 hours. So,
really? Interesting. Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, Johnny, with those matchups. But I always like to have some action. I like to have some action. Johnny, I'm not making a turkey. We're in a 2-family household situation on holidays. My son's, I heard him talking to his friend on his iPad. Oh, having divorced parents, great. 2 Christmases, 2 Thanksgivings. We're doing ham. We're doing ham. And it was his idea. And I thought, you know what? That's a great idea. And then I thought, oh, ham is pre-cooked. This is fantastic. The only way, how do you screw up a pre-cooked meat, John? I'll let you know on the next podcast. But I got a little maple, please. I got a little maple glaze, maple glaze lined up. I got some potatoes. I'm making real potatoes. I don't have to, but that's the kind of father I am. I tell myself, I'm cold. Shut up. But I make you good food, don't I? Got a masher. Amazon. Look, I don't, I'm no fan of Bezos, but I don't want to go out in this crap. I live in Los Angeles. Are you kidding me? I don't want to go to the store again. I can just press a button and have a masher for $6. I go into Ralph's and paying $19 for a masher. I'm going to make him do it. This is what I did. That's all I remember as a child, John. Just huge kettles of potatoes. What else do you feed 10 kids with? Johnny, I am going to bench Derrick Henry. You heard me.
Yes.
I am benching my second round pick, and I got to do it. And this is from a guy who is starting Derrick Henry and his backup multiple times this year. I got to tell you what, if you're not having a good season,
some bitches back.
Grab some balls. Grab your balls, and if you're a lady, grab your lady balls or whatever you got going on down there. We don't judge whatever you identify as, but I'm not going to call you by your pronoun. I'll treat you equal. I ain't treating you special. You got to make some moves. Look at my team, Johnny. I didn't even have any of these people on my team.
Oh, I know.
This is exciting and new.
Murray, Barkley, Mostert, Williams coming up from the IR.
I got a new quarterback and 3 new running backs.
Taysom Hill.
Oh, I'm so excited. Everybody's got a 30-point potential. And you know what? Derrick Henry, you can throw one again. I don't care. But I'll tell you what, you don't sit. The last time I won this league and set the record for the most points in the history of Big League Chew. I do believe I had a young man, a young upstart, a young promising talent out of Penn State. Is it Penn State? Let's call Ken Way. He knows about that.
It was
Saquon Barkley. I took him. I had the 12th pick. Most people are cursing. 12th pick. I take Kareem Hunt. I take Saquon Barkley. The rest is history. Count the points. You can't. It's too many. You'll get tired before you finish counting the amount of points that I had that record-breaking season. So welcome back, Saquon. On our way to another title. Johnny, what are you looking forward to in this Week 12?
I'm looking forward to Mahomes against the Raiders and Josh Jacobs against Mahomes, both of whom I did not have just a week ago.
It makes it fresh.
And beyond that, we're going to do a little shakeup because I need some help. Cooper Kupp's injured. Gabe Davis sucked. We're going to see what happens in the transactions tonight in just an hour. So we'll see. Beyond that, I am looking forward to Turkey with family and going back to Ellicottville again on Friday. Lots of miles traveled. Going to be good.
Yes, sir. And happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there. If you're traveling, please stay safe. I'm going to enjoy some ham. I'm going to enjoy some football. I'll probably go back and hit some more balls because I'm making tremendous strides with my swing. I might walk across the courtyard again. Johnny, the possibilities are limitless. God bless you all, and hold your family dear, and have a wonderful, wonderful holiday. For Johnny Burrell, I'm Brian Dunkleman saying we'll see you next week on OG Fantasy Football.
Fantasy Football.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.